ready for it. Ready for it. I go ready for it. I go ready for it.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Ay, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
Welcome to the ESL Mobile Open, where we take all of the weekly action, condense it, and serve it up for you on a silver platter. My name's AJ, I'm the Mustachio, down here with the one and only Contra to get all of that done for you.
Yeah, it definitely feels good to be back here. You know, I was replaced for a little bit, and Victor Cax, man, that guy stole my shirt. It looks exactly the same. I don't know if he got it from the laundry or he just stole it from my closet, but I'm glad to be able to actually find it by the end of the day, and this time bought myself a brand new pair, and I hope it's not stolen for the next week.
There's the problem, right? I think he stole it out of your laundry, bro, because I could smell Victor from all across here. We had the whole social distancing going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, but Victor, my man, you should have at least washed that shirt. But jumping on here, right? What is the ESL Mobile Open all about, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? And how can you get involved? Because this is a program set up by ESL for the community. Well, take a quick look at this video and you'll know all that you need to know.
Welcome to ESL Mobile, the home of mobile esports. ESL Mobile is a global program designed to give you an opportunity to compete in your favorite mobile games, featuring multiple game titles taking place in 3 regions and offering 2 levels of competition. There's something here for everyone. ESL Mobile Open is the gateway to competitive play, free to join and open to any resident of our supported regions. This is the best way for you to enjoy the thrill of victory and take your shot at winning cash prizes. Each season of Mobile Open will consist of 2 ladders, and the top competitors from each will qualify for the Mobile Open play-ins. ESL Mobile Challenge is your path to glory. If you are a top competitor in the Mobile Open play-ins, you will earn a spot in the Mobile Challenge season. The top team from each ladder will skip the play-ins and qualify directly for the Mobile Challenge season. This is where you'll have the chance to compete against the best players in your region. At the end of each season, top Mobile Challenge players will compete in the Mobile Challenge Finals to determine a winner and be crowned their region's champion. ESL Mobile is for everyone. This is your opportunity to join a diverse and growing community of players across the world and see just how far you can go.
That's right. It's time for you guys to level up, and you guys can always sign up at esl.gg/mobile. So we've already heard the entirety of how you guys could actually get yourself a chance to compete not only at a level terrain, but you can also meet up with chances of taking down a pro player somewhere within the lines, or veteran players in the scene, or even if you feel like you're a washed up pleb, don't worry, you can get back on track on the ESL Mobile Open, and this is how.
Yep, exactly. How can you matchmake, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls? Ladders are open on very, very specific times. Check the match page on ESL Play for more information, all right? You got to go in and click on the challenge and then hit play now to find an opponent. Once again, it's only open at specific times. Now, each and every single victory earns you points, and when you lose a match, you lose points.
Exactly, and this is how the ladder works. So everybody starts off at 1,000 points. The more you win, the more your points goes up, and with that, you will face against opponents at a similar level, and only the top 2 teams at the end of each ladder period advance to the playoffs. So you can matchmake and find your opponents throughout the ladder, and it's open only on those specific time mentioned.
Yep, and there you go. These are the dates, but don't worry, if you don't manage to screenshot this, you can always visit the ESL website to find out more, to register yourself. And if you just want to hang back because you're not super confident if or not you're ready for the competitive level just yet together with your friends, don't worry. That's exactly why Contra and I are here. We'll bring you all of the condensed weekly action so you can see exactly how these teams perform. If it's not going to be this season, it doesn't matter. Season 2 will be coming up, and if you're ready at that point, jump right in.
That's right, and we're going to be going full spit ahead because our first game here that we're talking about is going to be Asphalt 9.
Yeah, boy. Are you going to be a legend just like these guys? Because ASL Gimmick has managed to finally break a record that we have not seen in here. Because 2 weeks running, it was always the iOS side that always finished a little bit faster. But it is ASL Gimmick that represents the Android players and clocks in 74.517 seconds in here, Contra.
That's right, and he goes in for such a beautiful drift of 70 meters, and immediately goes in for the ramp just to get even more air time, doing a lot of battle rolls, and of course, he almost missed some of all these nitros, but instead, he goes in for that double ramp play, heading all the way straight, and check this out. Later on, he's going to be able to actually swerve at those tight corners just to get up to speed.
So the answer to, what makes, players like ASL Gimmick as well as Anonyx that you will witness later on so amazing at Asphalt 9 Legends is take a quick look at the nitrous bar up top. It is all about juggling your nitrous. Can you keep that bar fully ready for any and all types of nitrous to go in for that full-on play? Never dropping speed at all throughout your whole run. And this is Anonyx showing you exactly how it can be done. This time he goes in on iOS, and this is something that we talked about, before the show started. There is a 0.1 millisecond of difference between Anonyx as well as Gimmick, Contra.
Exactly, and we're looking at like what? A little bit of a split second, and I'm just looking at once again, just to double check, like both numbers here. So ASL Gimmick was 74.517, and as we look at Anonyx attempt here, he's coming at 74.527.
crazy, absolutely crazy. And now they take the exact same path all the way down, right? Because when you want to play Asphalt 9 Legends, anybody can pick this game up, anybody can be a winner, anybody can go in and win those races. But it takes months and months of practice to learn your pathing, to learn exactly which one of these routes will get you to the end point the fastest, as well as allow you to not lose any bit of speed. And you can see exactly how Anonix juggles his nitrous all the way towards the end as well. I mean, and I mean, the fact of the matter of how it is separated between iOS and Android by the milliseconds, to the fact as to how, you know, even the leaderboards for the top 5 to top 6 are separated by those milliseconds, it says it all right. And that's exactly why this game has jumped into the esports segment.
That's right. And, you know, I was brand new to this, and I'm just getting a lot more excited about watching all these up-and-coming players. You're showing us how it's being done on this time attack mode. And that's Asphalt 9 for us here. And we're going to be having a little bit more of a chatter here for even other titles. And, well, congratulations, ESL Gimmick as well as Anonix, as they have been able to secure the top of the podium for both the Android segment as well as the iOS.
Yeah, and if you guys are already Asphalt 9 Legends players, you would have noticed that within the game itself, there is a segment in your daily task where you can go in. There's the ESL Open qualifiers in there. Before you start racing, even if you do clock in an amazing run, it's not going to be counted if you do not go in and register. So make sure you register first before you go in for your amazing runs. We'll go and take a quick short break, but when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Brawl Stars, and that action lined up.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
I go ready for it. I go ready for it. I go ready for it. ready for it. I go ready for it. I go ready for it. I go ready for it.
Welcome back to the ESL Mobile Open Recap. My name is AJ, I'm the Mustachio down here with Contra, and right now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have got nothing else but all-out brawls.
That's right. And I'm really excited to actually see what goes down for this week because last week there was some feisty action coming out of the side of Jupiter. And, you know, now accumulating all these points here in the ESL Mobile Open, have they suffered a loss? Have they been able to breeze through all the other competition? We'll have to actually check out the leaderboards to find out.
Yeah, boy, and they will skyrocket all the way back up to the top. They don't kick Steam just yet, but they definitely managed to kick them down to that second spot, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And both of them sit up top with a undefeated run so far, Contra. Queen Nai right down there in the third spot. Bryo will pick up that fourth position with the 1,075 points, and Sunny Side up with the 1,071 points. And here is what I want to point out to everyone, right? Icebarn sitting down in the sixth position with the 1,025 points with only one win in here so far. But Rise Esports sits down in the seventh position and they've got 8 wins in total. And this just goes to reiterate exactly how the ladder works, doesn't it?
Exactly.
If you go in, you win, you get those points. But you lose, and you lose quite a number of points as well.
That's right. So getting a little bit of win streak here definitely adds up a lot, but for Rise Esports, you see at least they go back on a neutral standpoint and still have a little bit of the advantage here with that 8-pointer coming in 7th place. Usha, Penino, Ravi with 101 as they'll be just 1 point shy, while Last Wolf as well as Koba will be having less than 1,000 points. That's where they will fall on 9th as well as 10th respectively. So there's still chances for all the players that are playing throughout the qualifier ladder, and of course we want to see you guys going out there, but we start off here with Jupiter going on some big win streak.
Yeah, boy, it is the Brawl Ball time, and Tensai just kicks things off. And of course, to earn 1 point in there, you need to go in and score those 3 goals. And a couple of ways you can do this, right? Some amazing passes, some amazing control, clearing out the area and scoring those goals, or just taking out the team in front of you so they can't defend, and then you still score the goal.
Exactly, and you just look at side tempo here alongside with a Choppy really pulling quite a lot of big plays, and with that pass coming from Tensai, giving the best assist possible, and so you know, it doesn't seem like Jupiter was even phased at all because side tempo, he was stopping down NG, and they managed to find David Liu, cleared off the entirety of the field, and of course, for yet another one.
Yep, Jupiter just showing you exactly what I talked about, just going in for the delay, and then on an open field scoring the goal. Now this second match was the type of match where you can literally screw over your opponents by gathering those screws and picking up that siege bot. And once that siege bot is on your side of the field, it's on an all-out victory, isn't it, Contra?
Yeah, I gotta say so. And you can see that for the likes of Rise Esports, they try to actually hold back slight tempo, but they managed to still juggle some of all these pressure and not having all too much to first take down the siege bot. They all gather up, and once again, going on another one, we're going to be moving across these teams as we'll be seeing one ICT take on Random Team.
Yep, and this is the one where Random actually won 2-1. It was an amazing start at the, at the get-go, but obviously it was an all-out easy play for the side of Team Random as they took on one ICT. They didn't go in for those trick shots. Instead, they just went in, scored all over, and shut down their opponents by slaying them out of the equation.
Yeah, and this was a cheeky one as well, as he managed to push that ball all the way to the finish line, or should I say the goal post, and Gotsuke tried to dribble across, and yet he managed to go in. Oh, President, he was already inside a goal. I don't know what to make out of it, but it was an intense one. We'll go into with the siege as we see the bot is already dropping down low, but a couple more punches will be able to secure it by the end of it all. And Lian, he walks away with so little health left, and it was a big turnaround as Gotsuke and Co, they managed to clear things out.
Absolutely, and once again towards the very end here, old President with the damage, but they had to just fall back as the pressure was just way too much, Contra. And towards the very end, Team Random, they managed to get such an amazing victory over one ICT, but of course, they couldn't really go in and celebrate that much because they would come across Rise Esports a little bit later in the day.
That's right, and over here we do see a little bit of a great contest over on the mid side, and Gotsuke, he sneaked his way all the way from the back, and that's where Asa goes grata-ta-ta and managing to clear off a few of these members out of the blue side.
Well, President, they held the point really well until Gotsuke went in there absolutely blazing things up. But the defense, it was just Lian who went in there to capture that point back in there for them. And it was just perfection for Team Blue all the way through, Contra.
Yeah, and at the very end, we saw a great capture coming across, and Asta really doing quite a substantial damage. But this is where I see the likes of one ICT managing to put up a stronghold and almost getting to take out Clinton, and Lian eventually will have to bow out because for the rest of Random Team, they managed this 2-1.
Yep, and this was the second matchup as a Random Team tried to take down Rise Esports, but Rise Esports doing exactly the opposite, rising up to perfection as they went in for a 2-0 victory over them.
That's right, and just look at all these goals, absolutely beautiful as they managed to kick it all to the corner post, and that's where it paid. He tries to dribble it across, and he got taken out. So Uncle F 10M managed to get another score in the back. Now, Rise Esports, they just seem to have everything going for them. That was one of the easiest goals that I have ever seen.
And of course, as they dropped in here with their siege bot for map number 2 as well, things did not look really that well for Random Team, as they would have to tank so much of damage all the way through. They just got dominated to no end, Contra.
Yeah, and that was some big plays coming across Uncle FM as well as David Liu, and just look at them just hopping across, and David Liu with the big guns, and of course taking some little bit of a high risk as well as some high rewards to stash this one up, and they repositioned, taking out Lian, and it was a little bit easier right after that.
Yeah, at the very end, it was that 2-0 victory picked up. And Random Team, obviously, it wasn't the end of the road for them. There's so much more action coming up in the following weeks, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that they can go in and play for.
That's right. So I guess that actually covers majority of the action that we do have for Brawl Stars. And I guess in a couple of moments here, we'll get ourselves pretty much in a more hot gun blazing action as we go to PUBG Mobile.
After a quick short break.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
I go ready for it. 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 I go ready for it.
Welcome back to the ESL Mobile Open Asia Pacific recap. My name's Contra. This is the Mustachio AJ. And you know, you guys can shoot your shot by joining the ESL Mobile Open on any of these game categories out there. If you guys missed it out for, the past couple of weeks, there's still chances for the upcoming weeks itself. So we hope to see you there because you can contend people at the similar level or have a chance to meet a pro as well, which, it's an even playing field for the likes of Manny, and even the ones on the top of the ladder can sometimes stumble. But this time, we're going guns blazing because we're going to be moving in to PUBG Mobile. Starting things off, we'll be checking out this spectacular few plays as we look into the ladders first, as Top Guns will be our top dogs of the tournament thus far, with an overall point of 272 and with a high ratio of kills, 119. Wow.
Absolutely crazy. And say Assassin Esports right there behind them with the 264 for the overall points, picking up 109 kills in total. But it was Zero Fox given that was just so impressive on that Battlefield Contra, picking up a total of 123 kill points. They have not been so great in terms of being able to, pick up that winner chicken dinner, all those high ranks, but being able to substitute that with those kills has definitely been giving them a equal footing in that top 3 position. A couple of more weeks in here, they should be able to boost themselves up top. Blacklist International will pick up that 4th position with a 243 points with a total of 115 kill. Not too shabby there as well.
Exactly, and if they just keep going at it on the following week, there's still a chance to catch back up to Top Guns. Now, DMS crew will be tying the scorers with Onyx Esports with the same points, 234. UPET Esports coming in with 225, and only 2 points shy is ESDK Revians here from Malaysia. So I've heard a lot of rave about this team that's currently ranked as a tier 2 team that is going to be making waves. Hopefully we'll be seeing more of these guys on PMPL, and for the rest of the region, hopefully in the PMCO as well, because we got so many across Southeast Asia and beyond that's taking part. Now, over on the other page, 9th place to 16, we've got limited edition here that coming pretty close by. 221 points out there with 87 points of kills. And Intense G, they're only 1 point shot as they still secure the top 10. But you just look at the kill volumes, they're much higher than limited edition.
Yeah, crossing the 100 kill mark for Puma X Celeb Esports clearly shows their tenacity on that field. But are they able to go in for those position points? At the end of the day, of course, it's up to those RNG gods as well when you drop into that battlefield for Battle Royales. Because, picking your drop spot, being able to get a great loot at the start of the game really decides your position. But being able to pick those kills up clearly shows that Puma X is up for this game. But whether or not they'll be able to continuously do better with those placements, we'll be seeing in the upcoming weeks. Team Excelsior, Falling Star Killer, Infinite Esports, Raftel Jasper, as well as WSWX ATS Sports will wrap up your ladder here for week 2, ladies, German boys and girls. Let's take a quick look at the matches and their highlights here, Contra. This was round 2 for Group 5, where Vengeance Team Puyat actually picked up the win.
Yeah, and you just look at how well they actually go in for the spray, picking up that knock on Virus Pro up the hill as he was a little bit out in the open, and this is where Agus goes in for a flank as well. So for the members of Puyat, they just know what exactly to do, and they are pulling triggers from across. And over on the top side of the hill, we see a little bit of a pick off coming up from the side of WCKD near, and heading in towards the final few moments. This was 5 kills already for this team as they still continue to rampage through. And Swag, man, he got knocked in a very crucial moment, and this is where the flank really has to be pulled to perfection. So heading to this, Leo, the last man standing, he managed to land a final few killing blows, and Neon will be able to secure the game by the end of it all.
Yep, and with the match where Lion Pride picked up that winner chicken dinner, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, thankfully we've got so much more highlights from this match to bring you guys through. And at the start, what was that Contra running out in the open?
Yeah, a very questionable play, but then again, this is what players can definitely work on, because not everybody is at a pro level of play, but of course, we're getting up to speed already. TG, you got to take a chance to just put your chips on the table if there is. I mean, potato chips. So these guys, they just absolutely go on the tear down, and the other guys, IOD, they were just stuck by the corners of the tree. They were trying to salvage the situation, but this is where the redemption play comes in by taking down Tony Jar.
Yeah, a great drop shot coming in there. A little toxic towards the end, but then, of course, it's all expected when you go in there competitively, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls. A little bit of fun hurts nobody. And, of course, the game would go to continue with a beautiful takedown from the back. And this one was an epic takedown, Contra, if you ask me.
Well, if you want to camouflage, that's not going to be the way because all the gears are being exposed under sunlight as well as the shadows as well. Being a little bit more realistic and this time, of course, tossing that grenade, but half the body is still jutting out, and this is where the side of Mew chose to actually go in for the full push, but yet again, didn't really check his 6, but the rest of his teammates will be able to still go in for the flush. Now, great grenade plays coming across the fields of Sanok, but it definitely was a little bit difficult. As you can see, 4K, they were trying to negate many of these teams from cutting right by. And down towards the final few moments inside of all these sort of shacks, it was LP that has been able to maneuver their way through. And at the end, got more than 7 kills in the back. 4K Leon tries to tap over, but yet again, the side of Lion Pride have their Lion Hearts as they drop right in to the fray. And this was an accident grenade that kind of knocked himself out as well, taking a chunk of his HP. And whoever was inside the building has to move out no matter what. And with that peculiar circle outside of the open field, it was the side of Lion Pride that will be able to close out the game.
Yep, and they will pick up that winner chicken dinner because of their positioning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And of course, as we jump into round 4 here for Group 5, it was the 8-9 squad that managed to get this done. And of course, they were to start the match off a little rocky contra. You know, they weren't really doing really great at the start, but as they went on in that match, they really did ramp it up.
Yeah, the guys from 62 were doing a little bit of a great taps as well until over on the enemy side they did send some bullets through and power 888. Just look at this. It was a little bit of an interesting graphic that we were looking at, but there was still some great sort of sprays across the field for the side of PW88 there to be able to secure kills by detonating that UAZ. And Demigod, they're getting picked off outside on these open fields. It gets a little bit more intense as this circle closes upon Gatka on flat grounds, and this is where Sleep Gods and the rest of his teammates really put in the work. And this is Apache there running out in the open and get caught out.
Yeah, and this is the part where teamwork kind of comes in as well, right? You go in there for the raid in these buildings, you need to have someone watching your sticks as well. And with a unplanned move in, you know, you are going to be getting caught out. And it was the Sleep Gods that goes in here for the takedown, but unfortunately, once again, leaves himself just wide out in the open to tank those shots.
Yeah, not only that, and the one who shot has already decayed to the blue zone as well. Lancelot really making some great plays as we saw some of the members getting picked off, and that's pretty much 8-9 squad here that tries to actually pull one back, and they managed to walk away with a big fat chicken dinner. But look at this play.
Yep.
I do recognize some of the players here as members from the side of UTG is from the Philippines, or UGT, which everyone comes first. That was a great grenade being pulled up by Edo 10 and Flanks coming with a cover fire to knock down 6 across the city of Picado, and this one.
This legendary play here. He just jumps
Peekaboo.
out, says hello, and then snuffs both of them out of the equation. Just perfection coming in here. Many great plays within this match. I think we will be able to see a perfectly placed grenade later on in this highlight as well. And of course, as the teams were to go in and push each other closer into that circle, the ones to hold those vantage points with the terrain were the ones who stood out tall contra.
Exactly, and we saw a great M24 tap right across, and Conan, he went on a disarray. He was trying to do a hop shot and did not connect, but Madara here has been able to display what's the good play with the sort of the drop shots, and Danny wins going in to return the flavor from the lower grounds, and that's not something you always do see, as Barrack will be able to get in some easy pickings after seeing some knockdown enemies right across the fields of Miramar. As things get a little bit more heated up across the desert dunes of Power Grid, this is where it's an uphill battle for sort of Judy as he will be brought down, but other teams got his back, and this was a clutch play because he was all alone, and that's 4 kills being secured by the team.
Yeah, and nobody expected Anbu to go down in that way because throughout the whole match they were just so impressive. But of course, as 8 and 9 went in there for their final push, Silence just went all out to silence out the rest of these players, all out there in the open. And how does he manage to even pick these players out from such a great distance? Only he will know. But, you know, in a prime position like this, there was no way 8-9 was about to lose this.
Yeah, you can see that they've already covered majority of the upcoming circle of phase number 8. While everything was pretty much cleared up, and they saw that someone's coming over, and they went in. Fire in the hole.
Perfection, I tell you. But of course, he will go ahead to lose his life towards the very end. But the one clutch as Capone goes through, one quick shot, and 8-9 will pick it up once again.
That's right, and that was a high volume kill finish as well. I believe that was like, what, 15 kills to book out with the chicken dinner? Solid 30-pointer out there if we were to follow the PMCO or PMPL system that's being brought to play, because one chicken dinner is going to be 15 points. So, yeah, I just love what I see. 2 chicken dinners for a team.
And it's really not easy going back to back here with these wins, right? Because when you drop into that Battle Royale and RNG really kicks in, it's all about how your team plays it well from the start to end tactically. But to be able to wrap up the whole day with such a high volume of kills, that really shows the tenacity of the team as well. And the planning just needs to be pitch perfect. Speaking of planning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you will really see a lot of strategy as we drop into our next game when we get back from the break, won't we, Contra?
Exactly, because the next game here will be Legends of Runeterra.
Well, catch you in a bit.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up. Level up.
All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
Are you ready for it? you're ready for it.
Legends of Runeterra, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is the game that we will bring up for you. This is the ESL Mobile recap show with Contra as well as the Mustachio, where we condense all of the weekly action. And I would be kidding if I told you that there was no hot action at Legends of Runeterra. And it's so unsuspecting because it's just a simple card game to many out there.
Well, to say that it's all too simple, I definitely beg to differ because we got some great action coming your way as we'll be looking at what they do have under the sleeves of their deck. So, starting things off, this will be, of course, a battle between both sides here tactically, but it is going to be the latter that we'll have to focus on because the Scav currently has the most amount of points and is on a 10-win streak with 25 wins and 8 losses. You know, to achieve this is definitely very, very difficult. But Carpin, he's chasing right up with 15 wins and only 4 losses.
Yeah, before I continue on this ladder, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I just want to see you how tight the community of Legends of Runeterra is. We saw exactly how it was for Brawl Stars earlier on, but look at this ladder, man. Each and every single one of these players have gone in there so seriously, you know, participating in multiple matches. Look at Bright NA, Bruce 9 and 15 as well. 25, 28 wins in here so far, but they had to go in time and time again for those wins. Why? Because they've tanked way too many losses with those 12 and 10. But even though they have done so, the ladder format keeps them up top. Carpin, of course, as Contra has mentioned, picked up that second spot. This is all just high-tier ELO gameplay coming up from the top 10, Contra.
Yeah, I definitely love seeing some of all these action go down. Well, of course, do pardon me, my cards are a little bit out of meta from time to time, so... But we'll definitely keep you up to speed with some of the big plays that have been brought out. And we start things off here with Asphalt versus Tanya Wannabe. So this is where things get a little bit heated up, right? Asphalt, he definitely brought in his Celestial deck, alongside with a couple of cards that can actually go in for the challenge. As we saw, this really high firebowering dragon that's in this way, and that will possibly take him down. So the response here is going to be perfect for Asphalt because he's only got 12 HP, and he needs something to tank it out. While he does have pretty much a full stack of mana, now he starts off the play, he goes into Silence Off, and takes out the shield initially, and then he pulls out Living Legends, filling his hands with cards and refilling the mana. Now, he's already got so many cards up there, but mind you, certain cards are going to be fleeting, and he's going to be playing the Great Beyond as well, tying it to match the same amount of damage of what the opponent actually brings to the table. So Tanya Wannabe, he can see that, okay, this one's coming. Only receiving 4 damage is the best case scenario for Asphalt.
And you see, at this point, a lot would have thought that, okay, Asphalt is going to get knocked out of equation in here. And, you know, he's already low on that HP. And when they go in here for that face check, he loses that and he gets down all the way down to 7. And Tanya Wannabe was the player that actually took the Scav down last week, right? And, of course, that was by a technicality because Scav ran out of cards. But this time around, down to that 6 HP, Asphalt did not give this up just yet, Contra.
Yeah, you just look at this right now. They can definitely come in with a challenge and even more Celestial cards. This time, another Great Beyond with 17. And this is where things start to stutter for Tanya Watanabe. But then again, you know, maybe it's tankable or so, but because of the challenge, it leaves them not much room, and they know that, okay, this is going to be a little bit tougher, even though if you were to put either sides, there's still going to be the overwhelm it definitely is going to be too much to take. So I decide to just give this one up because that was too big of a play not to give it to Acidus. Now, we're going to be moving along to another match here between Bangson versus Marius.
Yeah, and this was quite an easy sweep for Marius, right? Bangson did not really stack up the pressure on Marius from the early onset of the game. And, you know, towards the very end, we saw this fight, and we thought that, okay, maybe here was that comeback. But, oh, were we wrong, my friend. The attack straight to the Nexus.
Yeah, they used Atrocity right there just to attack directly to the Nexus, leaving only 1 HP in. You thought, okay, he's out of cards, right? So with all these sort of damages, it could have easily taken it down. So, meaning to say, Marius needs to finish it by this round, by hook or by crook, and come on, 1 damage is not going to do the trick, right? So I think that Bangson here is feeling extremely confident that, hey, he's got all the cards necessary to pull off a big heist. So you don't need to calculate the numbers to know that it's actually important to be more than 1 HP. Now, it's really down to the final card here for Marius.
Yeah, if you play, you know, just basic maths, Bangson, just based on what you can see on screen, should be able to take this match away. But Marius, this guy is a real teaser, don't you think, Contra?
Yeah, I definitely think he is a teaser. He makes you think that, I got no chances. I'm going to pass this round. He passed this round. Look what he did next. He's pulling another card, and he's got the Scorch. Look at this. No-brainer. You don't even need the Scorch. You go in for whatever you want. Yep, go with the summon. And the good news is that there's no attacking card. And he comes up. Atrocity. Last minute. After all of that. And you just crush your enemies in your face.
Yeah, high-tier ELO gameplays, we were not kidding at all. Now, as of course we were to push on in this match, Bruce 1915 would take this absolute, well, what would seem as a simple victory, but it was anything but.
Yeah, and this was another big play, especially when you're playing on a Lissandra deck. That's where, you know, the late game is going to be, of course, your battleground. Now, you see a couple of all these spells being brought right in, the Decimate and the Withering Will, just to try to actually get those HP back up as well. Now, that's where you add another layer here, and that is just about 6 damage enough. And with the lifesteal and the Decimate, it just hits perfectly on that 4 HP, depleting it down to 0, and it was a sweet win for Bruce.
And of course, as we dropped in here to our...
Oh,
yeah, let's go, Lissandra.
yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, but this evolution actually has brought a very big card on top. It's not just the Frozen Troll. Watch what happens next from this moment on. Okay, they still have the Trundle, but then it's kind of vulnerable. Now, look at the next card, because that Lissandra is about to pull in something real huge here. Because not only the Spectral Maiden actually come in, that's where the Watcher will appear. So, with the Watcher plays here, you know the turn that this Watcher comes in. Whatever you want to tank with it, once he gets to play, the deck will be obliterated.
And of course, Bangson was definitely banking on his Watcher, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Would Black Obsequim be able to tank this damage as well as survive with that extra 20, I mean, the extra 7 HP left on his Nexus? We will see exactly that.
Yeah, and it looked like a perfect 20 for a moment, right? And you see Obsequim, he's just pretty much stunned right there, because whatever card he has to pull out next is not going to match up. We've already seen his hands. Even if you pull, well, I don't know if you want to pull the 12-pointer out there. And with that, he tries to evolve the Trundle in hopes that, you know, removing a little bit of these sort of stats here will be able to actually clear things up. But then again, it won't be able to overwhelm this Watcher, because the Watcher is all that they need to really destroy Black Obsequim right here. And yep, zoom into the deck. Already gone.
Now you don't have any more cards in here to play, Mr. Black. What will you go ahead to do? Even the defense of what's on the table for him to play as well is not going to be able to tank a lot of these damage. He is going to be able, he's going to be absorbing a lot of the damage onto his Nexus. And, from here on end Contra, things just got a little uglier.
Yeah, no cards to draw, and of course, Obsequent will have to concede right there, no matter what. So out of cards means that you're out of play, and that was a beautiful game that we have witnessed coming in from the two, and this was another extra, as it will be another turn here, the second time Obsequent challenges the likes of Banks in game 2. This was a little bit more unique because it went down to the wire on calculations.
Yeah, exactly right. And of course, at the start, we really thought that Bankson had such a great hold on this game, right? He had an amazing hand, but when he went in there for the play, Black Ops Zipquim showed him exactly why he is one of the highest rated players in here.
That's right, and you see Nopify being played out as well. A little bit of exchange between all these spells being brought to the table. They try to negate the barrier as well, so that they can eventually take it out, and that's going to be the Dragon Rage as they kick it all the way through. Now, look at this. 2 HP. What do? You do see that they have one unit with 14 damage. Now, remember this. Playing the Celestial deck, once you hit the right cards, all these Celestial cards will cost absolutely nothing. And suddenly, the tides have turned. Obsequent brings everything out. And, well, how do you respond to this?
The answer? You don't.
You just don't. It's a huge comeback, and just look at this. There's going to be so many of all these lifesteals, challenges. So what they can do is to pull that Lee Sin over, go in with the challenge, and force him to, of course, take a bigger blow. And the rest of the dragons that the likes of Obsequent is going to be having, he'll be able to actually crush things out. So it definitely stunned Bankson for a little bit as he was trying to find a way out, thinking really, really hard, do I have the numbers here to pull it right back?
And of course, he will go in here for a play. But, just like you mentioned, right, with that hook and that pull, Black Ops Zipquim had such a great hand to play under his sleeve. And when they went in there for their final slay, Bankson, well, he wished he didn't have to face this.
Yeah, it was getting a lot more challenging. And speaking of a challenger, they brought everything on the line. And instead of pulling that Lee Sin, they thought, it's okay. I got the dragons here to seal the deal because it is just a whole lot more than I need it to be. And with that, you see, it was a white flag coming from Bankson.
Yeah, towards a player with just the 2 HP, the Celestial deck absolutely annihilated him. And Black Ops Zipquim, I mean, to be able to see such a, to what most people would see this as just a simple card game played at such a high tier is nothing short of amazing.
Well, that definitely takes a lot of IQ as well as big energy plays.
Yep.
So with that, well, I can't really put much for myself, but of course to bow down to all these legends out there that's playing LOR. So I believe that's going to be concluding the card game segment, as we've already concluded Legends of Runeterra. That means we still have one more game left, and it's still going to be under the Riot Games category, as we will head over to the Wild Rift
when we come back.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up.
against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's all we know when we level up. Yeah, that's all we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
Are you ready for it? 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 Are you ready for it?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is your ESL Mobile recap show with Contra as well as the Mustachio. And so far, all of the condensed action is just gonna blow up as we bring you right into the Rift.
That's right. I believe this is one of our favorite part of the program as well, as we've been casting some of the matches itself. So we'll be looking at some of the action here for the Sea Icon series in Malaysia. So let's get ourselves in towards game number 1 real soon, as we'll also have to take a look at how the brackets has gone through. And before we even get to Malaysia, let's also have a look at Thailand, because I do believe we have brand new teams that have made it to the group stages here. And your brand new qualified teams are Pagan Wolf, as well as Third Party.
Yep, they will join Invade Esports, Dion Strategist, King of Gamers, EVOS, Buriram United, as well as Taro. I mean, this was delayed from last week, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and of course, there was some stuff that we had to sort out in the background. But at the end of the day, it was Pagan Wolf as well as Third Party that rised up to this challenge. And these 8 teams will proceed to the group stages.
That's right. There's so many great talent that's coming out of Thailand, and Man, we've been eyeing on Evos with G4 being their main player out there, but King of Gamers, Buruam, they're definitely giving the run of the money alongside with Invade Esports. So now things are getting even tougher, especially when Pagan Wolf and Third Party comes in for the mix up here. So I want to see next week when we do get those games pretty much on our screens, we'll be able to actually cover some of these spectacular plays hailing from Thailand's very best teams. Now, let's actually get into the riff real soon as we'll take a look at the Week 2 leaderboards of the Sea Icon Series Malaysia.
And it will be Berjaya Dragons as well as Geek Fam that sit up top. But because of the score difference, Geek Fam will have to settle for spot number 2 for the time being. The champions of the preseason sitting on that second spot, they are not going to be too happy about that at all. But there's nothing they can do until they meet Berjaya Dragons face to face. Of course, the other teams will be trying to, continuously draw blood from the big dogs. Sem9, like what they've done. They've gone in here and they've managed to take one match away from both Berjaya Dragons as well as Geek Fam, and because of their sheer tenacity, they have managed to pick up the 3rd spot so far with the 3 points on that score difference, Contra.
That's right, and they're the ones who have managed to dent the scorelines from Geek Fam as it became a little bit of a score difference that puts Berjaya Dragons up on top. So Sem9 definitely come in with some big cerebral plays for the entirety of the week. Eminence Raptors here on 4th place, of course, getting 5 wins, 5 losses, going on neutral, but RTZ on the rank on 5th place, Lynx Esports on 6th, and Splatstone Sonics have yet to win a single game out of any of these match rounds. So if you guys are wondering why is there 7 teams, that's of course one more team that have unfortunately pulled out.
Yep.
And homies, they will be, of course,
Staying at home.
Staying at home, like you said. And with that, we'll be taking a look at day 3 here as we get ourselves in action. Berjaya Dragons were taking on Sem9, and this was a beautiful fight alongside with many of these members of BJD going up close and personal, but it was that Akali that becomes the game changer for BJD.
Yep, you bring in that Hextech ultimatum to go in for that shutdown, and RH was just absolutely crazy. But no matter what Sem9 tried in game number 1, they just could not hold Berjaya Dragons back.
Yeah, and of course, Tainted Ones here was playing the very first game, and he got taken out because he was taking way too much damage. Now, this is where things get a little bit scattered, and RH managing to actually lock in the right targets with the ultimatum. And also, you saw Sagi getting taken out, and Sem9, they make this big recovery and eventually close their very first game. But on the next game itself, it's a little bit of a switch up because that Moonfall coming out of Chile was absolutely beautiful, and Sagi goes in with a killer instinct to set a beautiful dive, and it was the likes of Berjaya Dragons here to be able to put in that pressure as they dive all the way to the tier 3 turret.
Yep, with the hero's entrance from that Galio, they would get knocked up into the air. Nothing much for them to able to be responding to, as Berjaya Dragons would go in for that shutdown gameplay. They back away, but for nothing, to pick up the Baron Nashor and to head right back down into the fray, Contra.
That's right, and you see, this was where they were set up all around the choke point, and Berjaya Dragons, they were just pretty much way too up ahead. You look at the goal, it was a star 20 over 1,000 difference. Well, if I actually get my maths correct. So with that, it was pretty much the end here as we will move along and heading in towards the next game here. We saw RH went on a 1 versus 2, and Team One's really set the tempo right on his Vi. And check this out. It was also another big fight that comes out of BJD.
Yeah, so in game number 1, Sem9 started off really, really strong, and Vijaya Dragons made that amazing comeback. But in game number 2, it was a totally different complexion because we really saw the aggressive side of Vijaya Dragons. From the get-go, they just wanted to go in and slay each and every single opportunity.
That's right, and this is where they also do have the Katarina coming in with the Death Lotus as well as Isune swapped over to mid side, and Chili, he was just locking everybody out and of course serving the Damascus justice. And BJD, they just absolutely crushed out the competition. Now, we're going to be going to Eminence Raptors versus Arteezy Underrang because this was a close battle between the two.
Yep, it was a 2-1 victory for Eminence Raptors here, and it was not easy at all because RTZ really gave them a run for the money contract.
Yeah, and Rod's really making some spectacular plays on his Katarina as well. But this is where things get a little bit rough and rowdy, but look at how Eminence Raptors managed to juggle this. They came back in with a sure focus, and they absolutely destroyed the likes of Arteezy Underrang for an ace over on that Drake Pit and also securing that Inferno as well. Now, another fight quick downs over Mill, and it was a couple of redemption that has kept the likes of Eminence Raptors healthy.
Yep, and this was one of the very few times that we actually see that Cinch going in to the Rift and doing so much of damage on this meta. He just blocked off the whole escape route and just crazy killed that match.
Exactly just what a Mad Chemist will do, and this was where members of the side of Underrang, they were diving in towards the enemy lines already. I wasn't all too sure if that was even a good idea. As you can see, the recovery from the side of Eminence Raptors was rapid, and Xion was doing so much work throughout the entirety of the battle, but Fluffy will be able to secure that triple kill just to take another ace. As it goes on a little bit longer, it was down to this contest here in the Baron that definitely was a game changer because Fluffy, he actually go into extend with a Killer Instinct that kind of bought a little bit more time for the side of Underrang to respond, and they get pushed back for a little bit longer.
Yep, and Hilla will have to, continue running for a lot of that match because they really made the Corgis team so squishy, didn't they? But, it wasn't too much between them. They still kept the matchup quite equal, stealing back and forth those objectives. But it was RTZ Underrank that went in for that full-on pressure onto the inhibitor. And nothing much that Eminence Raptors could do in match number 2.
Exactly, and they've already gotten Baron anyways. Now, heading to game number 3, it was an all-out warfare over the bot side. It was a party that every single player has decided to join over the bottom, and this was one of the earliest aces we have seen thus far in less than 5 minutes, and this was also an overstep coming in from this light of Arteezy Underrank. They were up ahead. You just look at the goal and everything else. It was a impressive maneuver of every outlanding with the Wombo combo as easy.
Yes.
It seems to be that player out there that has been able to pull the right triggers for Eminence Raptors to get back on track.
Yeah, I was just so mad, man, because that was that fight that turned the whole game around. If RTZ didn't go in for that full-on engage, they could have just gone in for the win. But that one mistake literally just swapped or turned the tables on them.
Exactly. That unstoppable force once again from Easy absolutely did the Underrank a little bit dirty. Yeah, got it rhyming anyway. So here comes that Death Lotus as well, and swiftly going in with those kills. He didn't really get that double, but it was still a beautiful ace, and Eminence Raptors definitely deserving of that big comeback win. Now, going to one of the hottest games that we had. It's match 4 in the group stage, day 4, as Geek Fam goes in to take on M9.
Yeah, and this was one of those times where it really went to show exactly why so many, pro team fans have fallen absolutely in love with Sem9, right? They are coming into the pro scene and they're showing that they can stand toe-to-toe even with the Dragons here.
Well, of course, Geek Fam here was having the Shan running at them, and this was game 1 that was a very well thought out game for the likes of Geek Fam because that Garen became a brick wall and a truck of damage for them to even tank off
Yeah.
So the Shang being the MVP not only for this match, but for the future matches as well. But this is where Sem9 plays in with some surprise, and that enchanted crystal arrow landed all the way from the bottom lane, going downtown, alongside with that Annie dropping the Summon T-Burst. So pickoffs after pickoffs, Sem9, they slowly get back on track, especially coming in towards this big Infernal Drake. We saw Kazuo coming in with the Dragon's Rage to kick off the Vi and secure the smite.
Yeah, and it was not just that one time that Stun came through with an enchanted crystal, right? It was all the way through. Even here, as Momo was going in for that run, gets that beautiful stun, and they go in for that wipe. And this was the team composition. I did not, expect to see Tibbers go in and do so much of damage on this meta.
Yeah, and I really do love the ideation coming in from all the members of Sem9. And once again, you see Becky being forced to buy the Quicksilver Sash just to negate all these crowd control, but RH, he went all in with the perfect execution as well as they go on the chase. Kazuo went an absolute tear down. And yeah, as much as they do bring the Guardian Angel down, they have all the resources to work with, but they did have members retreating, clearing up the wave, and once again, Sem9 calls the shot. Every time they go in with the arrow.
Okay. Here's something that we really need to point out, right? Sem9, they took 4 Drakes down. They also went in and they took Baron Nashor out of the equation. Look at the pressure they placed on the Nexus, and there was nothing much Geek Fam could do about it in this game. But it was that comeback gameplay in here, that methodical, slow approach for game number 2 that just made the whole community go crazy, Godra.
Yeah, and it was an all-in assault coming in from the side of Sem9, and Geek Fam defended well enough. They only dropped one member in the form of Nyx and got 2 kills instead. So this Pantheon coming in from RH is a big risk champ that they have been investing on. But heading in towards the late game, it was a lot more difficult with this Death Flawless dropping on top of him. The idea is to lock down Becky, but nobody has been able to do that. And this A's definitely hurt them a little bit too much as they win all in over the mid side here. Kazuo can only watch as the inhib falls and eventually bringing him down. Doesn't matter if he pops that GA because they've got enough damage to take the game in.
Camille's right there to put a stop to that with an Hextech ultimatum.
Didn't even need to, right?
He didn't need to. That was just a flashy finish for himself. And of course, the week wrapped up with, crazy action down at the Rift that nobody should miss. If you guys are just down in here to catch the recap, no, I do not suggest you to do that. Go in there and watch all of those matches, especially if you're intending to join the Mobile Open as well, because you really need to check the competition out.
Exactly, and we've already caught every sort of the moments out there, and of course compacted it to something a little bit more digestible for every single one of these weeks. So we still have a little bit more to talk about here before we close the entirety of the show. So do stay tuned because we're going to come right back at you in a couple minutes.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance, be the star. I'm the winner coming out of the dark.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the wait's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up. Level up.
All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. It's time, get up.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. For us to wrap the show up, we need to get you guys prepared for the exact craziness that's coming up for you this week. My name's AJ, I'm the Mustachio down here with the one and only Contra. This is the Mobile Open Recap Show where we condense all of the information that you need throughout the whole week.
That's right. So, of course, for all these weeks here, we always have new updates and every single challenges out there for not only League of Legends Wild Rift, but for other titles as well. So, just witnessing my first Legends of Runeterra matchups out there, there was so many clutch plays, and it just makes me feel like competing myself, like how far can you actually go. And speaking of which, you guys can do that too. Just make sure you just pop in to the esl.gg/mobile and find that category of game that you're interested in so that you guys can sign up. And speaking of which, we got the upcoming tournament dates for you guys to do so.
Yep, 13th of April all the way down to the 6th of May, you've got your Ladder 1 for Brawl Stars. And of course, 11th of May down to the 3rd of June, you've got Ladder 2. So if you missed the first one, you definitely can try again. Legends of Runeterra will give you two options as well, between the 16th of April down to the 9th of May, or the 14th of May all the way down to the 6th of June. Now, in terms of PUBG Mobile, we don't have the ladder open anymore now, do we, Contra?
Exactly. It's Cup number 4 here, ladies and gentlemen. So if you guys miss out, if you guys have signed up before, don't miss this chance, because only those top 16 teams can actually make the cut. So with that being said, well, these are some of the action out there. If you guys are interested in League of Legends Wild Rift, of course, the registration for the Icon series have already closed up. But then again, there's still going to be the upcoming broadcast that you can check out on the 3rd, 6th, 10th, as well as 13th of May for the CE Icon Series MY.
Yep, and Brawl Stars will be coming your way on the 7th of May. And of course, this is what I've been waiting for, Asphalt 9 Legends on the 15th of May. And we'll wrap things up. We'll wrap the whole month of May up with some bang action. PUBG Mobile, 29th as well as the 30th.
That's right. And, well, make sure you guys mark your calendars right now, because the month of May gives you more than just maybe. It's pretty much assured that you'll be getting the best esports action across the table here, and all brought to you by ESL.
And the ESL Mobile Open is for everyone. And when we say everyone, we literally mean that, right? And this was something that started off at the North American side first. And one thing that they realized as they started off these mobile opens was how diverse the community was that was coming in for this competition. I mean, when they had a physical location and the tournaments running, they saw those as young as 16 years old all the way up to their 50s participating in this competition. And there was no, difference in terms of what gender jumps into these competitions. Most of the time in the previous tournaments, we have seen that, a lot of guys are the ones participating in the tournaments for the esports segment. When you drop into the whole mobile world and opening up these competitions, the whole barrier between race, religion, gender, everything's just broken. It's open up for anyone and everyone to join, Contra.
Exactly. And of course, it also goes in with no limit when it comes down to age cap. Maybe some, like if you're a little bit too young, we don't want you to be focusing too much on that too much. Well, I'm saying a little bit too much as well. So do correct me from time to time, my dear friend. And, well, it's still open for everybody out there. Of course, you need to be legal of age, or at least at a certain minimum.
Absolutely. Now, that was all in here for week 3. Week 4's action. You saw the dates. You saw exactly what we've got in store for you. Will we be back next week to recap everything that happened in week 4? You bet we will. Mustachio as well as Contra signing off. Catch you right after this. No, next week.
Exactly.
Messed that one up.
Next week.
Before we jump into the next one, here's a quick reminder for all of you mobile gamers out there. The ESL Mobile Open is just around the corner, so head over to Twitter right now and get all of those details. Tell your friends, build a team, and earn a spot in the finals.
Feel the lights, see the stage, hear the vibe. Pumped up to get ready for the fight. Big dreams, one chance.
as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. That's how we know when we level up. Yeah, that's how we know when we level up. Level up.